Okay, great. So we're recording now. So can we start by having everyone agree that we can share this publicly with a thumbs up? Great. Thank you so much, everyone. So, wow, so much going on. Let's start with a round of applause for everyone, for the whole team, for just like, all that we're doing. It's really an exciting time. My mind is kind of getting blown as we're finishing up this semester and looking forward to where we're going with this. And, as I'm working on different web pages and having all these different conversations, there's so much shifting right now. So I want to just really, first of all, acknowledge you guys and thank you guys for really holding it down with all of the teams and for, really setting a solid course for us as an organization, with all of your stewardship of the teams through the semester and into where we're going with this. So the main things that I want to focus on as a team right now are, as we've been talking about, how do we wrap up everything in a way that it's all documented, it's all tidy, as you guys leave, there's, the monument to you guys of what you've created, enduring on the website and that sort of thing. So we'll talk about that a bit. And like we talked about, the showcase on Thursday is a way to really feature all of that. And we'll talk about, which of you might like to present, live at the showcase, which of you might like to, create a video or have the team create a video, which is also fine, as we were talking about the other day. But the main thing, again, for me right now is how do we go out with a bang, so to speak, right? How do we, make sure that, first of all, everything is left in a way that you guys are really proud of, that and endures for you, as a way for you to share with people in the future, and also as a way for it to be kind of a foundation for you guys, because this is, this whole system is going to start to be our foundation for society. So you guys have the first, plot of land on this vast new landscape. So that's really kind of exciting. And the other thing, as we've talked about, is just making sure that everyone, all the students are getting all of their, practicum requirements fulfilled and all the competencies fulfilled and all of everything that, we need to make sure is happening for everybody, along with all the specific things that we're doing within each team. But those are the main things that are on my mind right now. So I just want to kind of open it up to hear your guys' thoughts and see if there's other things that are like top of mind for you guys as a team, and things that, either you already added into the agenda for today or you might like to. So who would like to share? Who's going to be first? You guys can comment if you don't have anything to add specifically. Oh, come on, leaders. You guys are the leaders, remember? You guys must have some thoughts about what we're doing wrapping up as a team for this semester.
I guess I could go. Oh, I was gonna say that, as things are wrapping up, I can see that, we're all slowly getting to the place that we want to be at, and it's slowly getting there, and hopefully by the time that we all leave, that everything's all set up, along with like our showcase, we gain more traction along with that, and we leave with a bang for all of us, because I know most of us are all leaving. So
yeah, thank you for sharing that, Tatiana.
Yeah, I just want to echo that. I mean, it feels like we have such short time, but we have a lot to do. So, making every hour count,
Yeah, that's a good point. And we'll definitely, get into the time tracker tonight to see how we want to divide up the time amongst the teams and that sort of thing. So great. Okay, great. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for those reflections. That's really great. So I have some notes that I wrote out and didn't get to get them into the agenda, but I imagine you guys were working on the agenda. Is that right? Somebody want to pull that up as I'm pulling my notes up? I'm gonna pull it up as well. Why am I not seeing November? Are you guys seeing it? Is it under here? Oh, there it is. It's under your faces. Okay. Okay, great. So we've got our weekly recap. So I guess we should start with somebody already on the minutes. Cassidy, thank you very much. Appreciate that. You guys are all in gallery view, of course. So, okay. So I guess let's dive into the weekly recap and the team updates, and then I'll just add the other things afterwards unless they pop up in the middle. So with that, let's go ahead and let Cassidy take it away, and Cassidy, you can share your screen as you go through it. And thank you, Cassidy. There's definitely been a lot of progress within and around the recruitment team. So let's give a hand to Cassidy and Tatiana, Rebe. Thank you guys for the work that you guys have been putting in, and for all of you that have been helping to create all of the team job descriptions, and now the recruitment team is working on these new specialized descriptions. So I'll let you take it away, Cassidy. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jared. So yeah, one of the main things that Jared said, the recruitment team's been working on job descriptions. So thank you all again for helping create those team specific ones. We are also have been working on some more specialized ones, like he mentioned, that aren't really necessarily, well, we're still trying to figure out where they're going to fit in the teams. If they do, that's what we were talking about last week. And so we've been working on just creating the descriptions now. So yeah, number one thing is just getting those finalized so that we can post them, so that we can get more students and get their attention. Obviously, we have our recruitment meeting tonight after this meeting, so we'll talk more about that. Another thing we're finalizing as well is emailing and communicating with specific career services offices that we already have a relationship with. We've been wanting to do that for a while, so we're going to hopefully get those out soon. And then I just wanted to remind everybody, if you can just remind your teams to add reviews to Handshake, that will help when we are, posting things and reaching out to students. If we have more positive reviews, it'll sort of increase, their interest and trust in us and things like that. So yeah, recruitment is top priority. And we've definitely been working really hard on these job descriptions. So hopefully we can, get them posted soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for all of that, Cassidy, and thank you for the hard work on the job descriptions for sure. And Cassidy was even working on the templates over the weekend and posted all that. So thank you so much, Cassidy, for all the extra work that you've been doing, and Tatiana for all the work as well. And Mariana, when you were on the team as well, thank you for all the work that you did as well. Yes, let's thank everybody. Yay, awesome. Okay, great. So the only other thing I wanted to add to that, I think ought to kind of go into recruitment a bit, is the testimonial videos that all the students have done. So I only got to see one so far. I apologize to all of you. I haven't had the time yet. I'm hoping to get to more of them tonight. I watched Mariana interviewing Maria. So you guys did a great job. Thank you very much. We can give a hand, even if you guys haven't seen it. They did a great job. So Thank you, Mariana and Maria. Great questions, Mariana. Great answers, Maria. Really good stuff. And as we talked about the other day, now, what we're going to do for all of the students on the team is to have each person process their own video. Although as I'm saying that, I guess Cassidy and Tatiana, you guys haven't been trained in that, right? So maybe we need to have somebody else process your videos, or it's really, I think it's simple enough. It's basically just a matter of going through your own video when you were interviewed, the one you're giving the answers to, and essentially cutting it up, and saying, this question gets asked here starting at this timestamp and then ends here at this timestamp, and not just the questions. So the questions should definitely get, cut up so each one can be separate, but also if there's any, certain just good juicy stuff, right? Something that should become either its own standalone minute video, or maybe part of a compilation video, like just a sentence or two sentences could be really impactful when cut with a bunch of other, impactful one or two sentences. So it's just kind of finding the gold within your own, interview, and then marking all of that and then sharing it with the production team, and then the production team will manage, how to deal with it from there. But that's what we want, each student to do. So I think maybe we can just cut what I just said right there as in terms of, cutting a 1-minute video to share with everybody in terms of what the process is, or write it out, or however we want. But let's just make sure that everybody knows that, and let's set, I think we already have a deadline for that for Thursday, don't we? I'm trying to remember. Am I right on that? Yeah, Katie, you're nodding your head. So, okay. And did we share that in the whole team meeting, or was that just the combo meeting? That was just the combo meeting last Tuesday. Okay, so it's only new then to you guys, Cassidy and Tatiana. You guys, the ones outside of the combo. So, okay, so, well, you guys tell me in terms of timing, how much time do you need? So first of all, did everybody get interviewed, and did everybody finish all of your interviews with the ones that you were interviewing? Did we complete everything? Everybody completed everything? Wow, you guys are amazing. Let's definitely get some claps around for that. Thank you. Thank you guys. That's awesome. Yay, great job. Great job, team. That's great. So yeah, part of it is like we talked about, we'll put the whole, interview on each student's profile page. So far, well, at least as of an hour ago, I only had received Katie's email with her headshot and her name and her school and bio and all of that. So did any of the rest of you send it to me since then, or you haven't sent it yet? No. Okay. So what, Cassidy, had you not heard that before? Did I not know?
No. I think Tatiana and I are a little out of the loop on some of the stuff.
Oh, I thought we had talked about that as a team. No, we only talked about it in the combined meeting. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. So this is new to you. Okay. So where did it get specified? Was it in the combined team chat, Katie? Can you forward that into the, well, I guess you could just forward it into the executive team chat if it's just Tatiana and Cassidy that need that info. And in terms of what you're going to provide. And so, yeah, you want to do that. I mean, as quickly as you can. I know you're only hearing about it now. Ideally we'll have everybody's, profile page online, at least with your headshot and your, school and, bio on Thursday. I see Maria saying you forgot your headshot. Okay, let's send it. Thank you, Maria. So yeah, so we're going to work on building out those pages. I'm going to show this now. No, I'm not going to get into that now. I'm going to be working on that tonight so that we have like at least one model. Like now I have everything from Katie, We're going to talk about, I think, the locations of the files, right, Katie? That's something we're going to talk about tonight still. Okay, so besides that, yeah, once you guys send me all of the bio basics or the basics for your profile page, then we'll, add everything that's getting put together. So Cassidy and Tatiana, you guys have been compiling your things into your folder as well. You guys got the memo on that, right? No, you haven't been compiling documents or anything? Wow, that's kind of, wow. Hey, rest of you guys, Katie, Mariana, Maria, where's the help? Wow, how did we leave Cassidy and Tatiana out of this process? Okay, so we can't really go through the whole thing now. Maybe we can, what's going to be the most efficient way to get Cassidy and Tatiana up to speed on this? Where, yeah, we can help them out once they see the message. Yeah.
Whatever they need, basically.
Well, it's the protocol that Katie has made. I think it's probably going to have to be maybe if we're going to do it in an automated way, just find the part of the video where we talked about it in the combined team, along with the protocol that you created, Katie, to actually do it. So who can be responsible for finding that bit of the meeting and pulling it out to send to Cassidy and Tatiana to find whatever 5 minutes or 10 minutes that is for them to know what to do? You can do that, Maria? Okay, great. Thank you so much. So you'll find that information. You'll send that along with the link to Katie's protocol about how to do it. And then Cassidy and Tatiana, I guess you guys will just have to do it when you can at this point. Thursday may be a little tight for you guys since everyone else has been working on this already. But basically, it's a matter of going back through the whole history of the semester for you and finding all of the things that you've worked on, and then bringing copies of those into your folder, and then specifying them in like a master list that's then essentially going to be transferred onto your profile page on the website, so that there will be links to all of the documents you've created and all of the minutes you created and all the everything, all the videos, all the tutorials. It'll just be your portfolio page, right? And so basically this process that you'll go through is just kind of assembling everything from the whole semester to create your complete portfolio. Excuse me. Make sense? Sound good? Okay, great. Okay, great. So Maria will support you with that. That's awesome. Thank you, Maria. Okay, great. So I think then, I think that pretty much completes the recruitment. Anything else on recruitment, Cassidy? No. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Cassidy. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and have Tatiana continue with the business team. So Tatiana, if you want to share and talk, take it away.
I will share my screen right now.
Great.
So,
thank you. Protocol doc.
yes. So for the business team, we've been kind of focusing a little on the recruitment, especially because, we need more members. But, during our business team earlier today, we kind of went over the job descriptions that we had for the business team and the project management intern, and kind of laid out kind of some ground rules or what we kind of wanted from it. And then afterwards, we've, especially as the semester is ending and a lot of the members are leaving, we've kind of started working on creating a calendar system for all the necessarily practicum requirements per member. So hopefully we can get a compiled list of like when people need their certain like documents to be signed for Jared, and then getting everything sorted out. But in general, that's what we've really been focusing on. So yeah, unless Jared has anything else to add.
No, I think that's it. But I think if you want to add that, Tatiana, to
yeah.
the agenda there, I think that'd be good, because that is definitely something we need to keep track of, which is the calendar. Yeah, that's good. So good. So I know that, several of you guys have that. Cassidy and Katie, in this case, have some evaluation requirements and that sort of thing. So make sure you can send it to business team at unitingforaction.com. So send, whatever needs to be filled out, or the link, or and by when, especially. So that's all on the one calendar that Tatiana's compiling, and I can look at it all at once and not be surprised by when things have to get done. So, okay, great. Thank you all for doing that. That's awesome. Okay, great. Thank you, Tatiana. I didn't get to say it at the end of our business team meeting because we were rushing so much, but thank you so much for all that you've been doing, holding it down as a one-person show in the business team. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Let's all give Tatiana some claps for the great job that she's been doing in the face of all of our requirements. So yeah, really, really great. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay, great. So now we will continue with the combined team. So who would like to share and speak on behalf of the combined team?
I can go ahead. Sorry, I was getting the agenda up.
Okay, great. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, so the main focus of our combined team was, again, just making sure all of the showcase prep is all ready. This included processing the testimonial videos, which we talked about, and sending the bio to Jared and stuff like that. I think that was, yeah, and just making sure everyone had their master list and had all the documents compiled. And then one thing that we talked about that we need to talk about in this team meeting is about how we're going to have the documents available on the profile pages, because we had talked about mirroring the Google Doc or just finding some way for the documents to not be editable. And I was looking into it and it seemed really complicated, and I could not figure out how to do it efficiently. So if anyone has any suggestions, very much be open to that.
So when you said it seemed complicated, you're talking about complicated to create a mirror aspect, or which part was the complicated part for you, Katie?
Yeah, just the mirror
To create
part
a
of
whole
it.
mirror structure.
Yeah, because I don't know much about the Google Drive system and computers, honestly. So it kind of got out of my league very quickly.
Got it. Okay. And like, you and I were chatting about earlier, it really is normally a business team function to figure out what technology systems we're going to use and how we're going to use them and that sort of thing. So I know, Tatiana, we haven't been talking about it before within the business team, that it's just kind of come up now within what we're doing now. But what I suggested to Katie, why she messaged all of us earlier, is that this is kind of a little bit of an extension into the business team for the time being, just to help the business team for us figure out this kind of situation. So the concern that I have, and I don't know if this needs to be a concern, it could be overcome. So I don't want to say that, this is like a strong thing for me, but I'm concerned that if like every single document that's on the Google Drive has some links that are shared internally that allow for the editing of the document, but then some other different links that need to be shared onto the website or shared in other places that give outside people access to our Google documents viewably without editing it. I'm just concerned that, at some point links can get mistaken and the wrong link gets sent out, and you know, that just a bunch of different, you know, ways that I foresee that we can have the potential, you know, changing of documents, loss of data, breach of security in some way, you know, on the drive itself, you know, if somebody is changing the permissions for a folder and they don't know better, and now all of a sudden the world has access to that folder or something, you know what I mean? So that's why I feel like, at least for me, that at least for me, I feel like it's a more kind of fail-safe solution, just to have like one whole folder system that is open to the public and has a copy of the document. And also part of it too is like, sometimes we're working on documents in real time, and you know, I mean, I don't even want to go down that road, but anyway, it seems to me like having a whole separate non-editable version and a whole separate folder structure is the way to go. But there is a lot of overhead to that, to have that managed that way. So I'm not sure that it is the most efficient. I see Tatiana says, what if they were sent as PDF instead? Which is kind of a possibility, but if you go, like, just as an example, you know, and this maybe isn't the best example because I don't know that we would necessarily share this document anyways. That's not the one I want to share. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know if we would be sharing our time tracker anyway, but the time tracker is an example where, you know, it goes so wide that it wouldn't really fit into a normal PDF, and there'd be other document, and also there's the different tabs, and then how would that work in the PDF? So there's, you know, a lot of times there's needed functionality within the Google Doc or Google Sheet itself in order to make sense of, you know, what we're providing, right? So that's where, and also to me, I think that helps give more of a realistic view if people want to like jump in and support, you know, that they can have it. So we do need to figure this out quickly, because the thing is that we need to build out all of these web pages with all of these links to all of these documents within the next couple of days. Actually, I mean, we're supposed to have it all specified with all the public links by tomorrow for all the people. Isn't that the deadline we had set, Katie? I'm trying to remember. Mariana. I think that yeah. What do you want to say? What you guys remember? And I think it was in the document you sent the other day, Maria, that I had commented on. We can look at it again.
I said for Tuesday, but maybe we can do it for Thursday. I remember I said for Tuesday, actually.
Yeah, you said by Tuesday, right? I know I read it in there. I just want to confirm that everybody was under that impression, and that's what it was said in the meeting as well. So, so it was processed the interview before Thursday, which is what we talked about. We probably should set a deadline for sending me the email and have all the documents collected in master list ready for the showcase. So it doesn't say Tuesday on me, or am I missing it?
At the top, it says have ready by our Tuesday meeting.
I see, got it, yes. This is what we're going to be working on to have ready by our Tuesday meeting. Okay. So is that, again, what was actually communicated last week? It seems Katie and I don't know who else, a little not sure that was where we're at. You guys, Katie, do you have a different recollection, or it's Tuesday where we're at on this?
Yes.
Yes, yes, Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. Okay. Okay. So I want to make sure. So again, the thing for that, the biggest thing right now is, so I'm reading what Maria says. Yeah, I agree with Tatiana. I would also suggest to have a complete different Google Drive with the documents not enabled to be edited. Right. That's right. That's what I think, maybe the best solution. So, but again, in terms of the timing, I want to get really clear on this because we need to, by tomorrow night, have the master lists of all of those documents, with the links to the public versions, right? Right now, all of the links are to the non-public versions, right? To the edited versions, to our actual documents, right? So there's a lot of work essentially to be done between now and tomorrow to create all these or all these public versions of all these non-public documents in a whole new mirrored drive and folder structure. That's like a lot of stuff to be done. So I don't know, that's why I'm trying to see, do you guys think that that's realistic to have that done by tomorrow, given where we're at right now? I'm trying to figure out what we need to do to set ourselves up for success with this, because we definitely want to have all of this, live and on the site, by Thursday for sure, but we really wanted to have it up by tomorrow so we could all look at it and know that it's all there, I think, all right, so let's focus on the drive part of it, and let's maybe have each person say something, because we have to figure that out right now, I think, in order to move forward with it all. We can have it for tomorrow. We can polish it up if needed by Thursday. I think that sounds good, Maria. If the three of you, Mariana and Katie, you guys, Mariana agrees. Okay, how about you, Katie?
Can I just clarify what it is?
Yes. So it is having the having each person's master file with all of the links to all of their documents be. I don't want to lose all of the links to all the actual documents. So let's keep that master file, but let's make another second master file that's links to all of the public versions of those documents, right? That are in it sounds like it's going to be in a mirrored folder structure unless we come up with a different process. So I think that's what it is. Is everybody clear about that? Not just Katie, but Maria and Mariana, that's what you guys are clear about as well? Yeah, okay. So let's just, again, to make sure that we're all on the same page and see what this looks like. So if we go in to, not teams. So we go into team members, we'll go into Katie's, because I know, Katie, that you have a lot. So this is your master list, Katie. So right now, Katie's master list has links to, let's just say, 15 different documents. And each one of these documents is the actual editable document. So now we'll have to make a Katie McQueen master list - public. And then, essentially go to each one of these documents. And this is where, once we go to each one of these documents, and then we do file, make a copy, and then this is where we're going to go back. Well, we need to know where all of this is. So let's start again. So showcase protocols inside scalable action protocol, full team, teams, uniting for action. So then this is where inside of uniting for action, we're going to have I'm just going to do it and we'll see if we end up using it. But so this is going to be public mirror Google Drive. So maybe say public Google Drive mirror. You guys have a different, better name? Public Google Drive. Let's just leave it at that. Public Google Drive. Sound good? So then under public Google Drive, then we're going to need to have what, so that it's Teams, right? And then inside of Teams was, which team was it?
Full team.
Full team. So again, now I'm setting up all of this folder structure now. Basically, you guys will need either you'll find that the folder is already there and then you're just going to find it. And then you may find that there already is the protocol document in that location, right? And actually, when you finally get there, you need to make it, called protocol document. It needs to have the same exact name. It has to be in the same exact folder in the public mirror. Does that make sense? I want to make sure everybody understands that. So when we go back to Katie's, it's going to be called protocol document, and now it's going to be, but if she searches and then as she's copying it, oh, there's already a protocol document in the actual folder that it should be. So somebody already did this, right? Because this same document is being referenced by several different people, right? So if you're not first, then that document may already be there, right? And then if that document is already there, then you're just taking the link from that document, that existing document, and putting it into your master list, right? You're not creating another duplicate of it. We only want to have one document. So basically the entire, at least all of the ones that are being shared, all of the documents and all of the folders being shared are all going to be replicated in the public version of the Google Drive. Does that make sense to everybody? And then the public version of the Google Drive, when you do that, actually, there's one missing piece to what I just said, right? Let's go back and do it again. And actually, somebody is going to have to create a protocol from this, from what I'm describing. Let's see by the end who can do the protocol, but let's, so if we're doing this copy, make a copy. So once we copy it over into the public location, then we're going to have to set the permissions. I guess the permissions on all of the folders will be that all of the documents are viewable only. Is that right? When you guys know enough about how we're going to set this up?
Do you want me to show you what I was talking about?
Sure.
One second. There we go. Yeah, so what I found is if you go to the Uniting for Action folder and you click here.
Yeah.
And then restricted, and then anyone with the link.
Yep.
And viewer. That means that it's the same link, so there's no change to the link. But if you have an email address that's outside of Uniting for Action, you can only view it. But if you have a Uniting for Action email, you can still edit it.
So if it's the same link, how does it know?
It just changes the permission. It doesn't change the link, I don't think, or if it does, it's very slight.
So anyone with the link can view it. So let's look and see if it's the same link, because if it's the same link, it doesn't because there is no group right now. When you say restricted, only people added,
Mhm.
right? So there's a list of people added.
Yes.
So all right, so let's assume again that the two permissions will work simultaneously. So what you're doing is you're switching to anyone with a link, and then you're switching it to viewer, right? And
Yes.
what I'm saying, is that I think it's too easy for whoever, if that needs to be done often, where somebody's in these documents and often changing from anyone with the link to anyone on the list, that it's too easy to have it not be viewer and to have it be editor, and to post a link that makes anybody the editor.
Well, I found if you do it on the master folder, like the Uniting for Action folder, it applies to everything that's underneath it and everything that's created within it. And I tested it out with my other Gmail, and it won't let you do anything unless you click request edit access.
Okay, so you're saying that we can set a global permission that on the whole folder, that people that are somehow that have been added to the drive have editing access, and everybody else has viewing access but not editing access?
Yeah, it depends on whether you come in with the link or with your email address. Because if you just have the link and you have like just a normal Gmail address that's not attached to your Uniting for Action, then you can only view. You can click through, view, you can't edit. But if you are added to the drive, I'm not 100% sure if you manually add or if you just have Uniting for Action email, then you can edit. I don't know about that, but I know if you just come in with the link, then you can't edit it.
Okay. So the concern that's popping in my head at the moment is the information that we're collecting. So first of all, like our roster that has all of your guys, phone numbers and email addresses and that sort of thing, that's not something that should be viewable by others, right? So there's going to be things on our drive where we can't just give viewable permission to the whole drive, right?
Yeah, I think for that, you can go into individual documents and change for just that document, the viewable properties or permissions.
But anybody within our team can do that, right? To any document.
Yeah, anybody who's added to the drive can do that. Anybody outside of the drive cannot.
Right. But anybody who's added to the drive can go and change any permissions on any documents, right?
Yes. Yeah. Like, I see what your concern is, yeah.
It's a really tough situation right now. I don't know if we're going to be able to come to a resolution about this in this moment. So the other thing is, besides just like rosters and stuff, there's also like the data that we've been collecting, like on all the experts and that sort of thing. Those are also like lists that should not be made public, right? So yeah, that's it. It's kind of getting at the concern that I have, is just that when we have this mix of all of these documents, that some can be public, some can't be public, and then everybody in the team has the ability to make things public, not public, and all of that sort of thing. I just think it's kind of too much of a free-for-all. I think it's too hard to count on everything staying right with all of those opportunities for something to go wrong. So I think we need to have a little more fail-safe method that doesn't require so many things to not go wrong, basically, right? So I'm gonna have to think about it some more, because I'm not sure. It sounds like possibly the concerns I have are going to exist on our drive anyways. If anyone on our drive, has access to our drive, can do anything with any of the documents in an editable fashion anyways. So that's tough. And the tough thing is we've got to figure out right away so we can share everything. And the tough thing about that is that any of these, well, if we do it the way you're describing, then it's quick and done. But if we give like a lot of access, then we're gonna have to go in and find all the different documents that people shouldn't have access to. So I'm not sure that that's a quick and easy solution either at the moment.
I mean, what we could always do is do the public mirror like you were doing earlier, and add in documents that we know for sure that we're okay with sharing and having people view, and then change the permissions on just that folder, not the entire thing, but just that folder. That could be a solution.
Yeah, that's again, I think what we have to do. And actually, now that you're saying it, so we don't have to do it permission on document by document. So basically, those documents in the mirror, in theory, could be edited by us still, right? By those of us that are part of the drive. But we can have the blanket permission on the public folder that it's only viewable by, yeah. So it's only, all right, I think that's going to be the best way to do it for now for these documents. And I think we're probably going to have, let's say maximum of 50 documents or something like that across the whole team to be able to have to do this with. So I think if you guys, you each understand what needs to be done in terms of the procedure, like what I was just doing in terms of making a copy and putting it over there, right? And then it's just going to be a matter of having the right permissions on that. So I think, Katie, you shared the document already, right? So that I can take a look at it and see what needs to be done with that. Or Tatiana, since this is a business team thing, does that seem like something that you can be on top of, or how techie are you with permissions and stuff? I'm not sure.
Not exactly too techy, but I can try to see what I can do, or try to find some use.
Okay. And Katie, you feel like you have a pretty good grasp on it, even though you're not the techie person, or you're still not totally comfortable with setting this up for us with Tatiana?
I understand the basics, so that might be enough.
Okay, so you'll work with Tatiana. Between the two of you, you guys can sort out what we need to do with the permissions on the public folder that I just created. And if there's any questions or anything, then you guys will let me know. Sound good? And okay, great. And then so we're basically going to build all of that out just one document at a time, like I was just doing, right? So each of you will go through your master list. So let's all okay, thanks for letting us know, Cassidy. So I think let's well, who can create at least a top level protocol for us in terms of making a copy of the master list document and then going through that copy and making that copy, you know, dash public so that it's distinct, and then going through that copy list. So we want to keep the original because we do want to have a link to all of the original documents. But the copied list, the public list, to then go document by document, and you can, you know, again, go to where that document is and then make a copy into the mirrored location. And if there's already one there, then you can cancel it and delete it, and or just not go through with the copy. But if there's not already a copy there, then you'll put it there, and you'll remove again copy of, you know, and make sure that it's named the same thing as it is, so everyone knows exactly what it's called. It's the same thing. So who can do that kind of protocol that I just described, so that we can send this to everybody and we can all, everyone on the team can do that? You can do that, Mariana. Thank you so much. That's really great. Okay, awesome. So we'll get that out. How quickly can you get that out to everybody, Mariana, so that all the other team members can do it too?
By tonight, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. That's great. Okay, perfect. Okay, so then is everyone satisfied with our solution for now around this? Everyone feel good? Thumbs up from everybody? Okay, good. Any other clarifications or thoughts around this before we move on? Nope. Okay, great. Perfect. So, okay, was there more still in the combined team agenda, Katie? Nope, we're done. Okay, great. Okay, well, I think we definitely can give some applause for the combined team leaders. Thank you, Mariana, Katie, Maria, for the work that you guys are doing and leading, and all of the work that's getting done to put together all these master lists and compile everything and all of that. Have you guys been in touch with the individual team members? Do you know that everybody is where they need to be, or do we maybe, should we have some check-ins with all the team members before tomorrow? Think that would be helpful? Yeah. You guys want to divide up the team members, or what do you think is the best for doing our check-in?
Yeah, I think we should divide. Might be better.
Divide them up. So we have Sabah and Johnny and Alexis and Renasia. So one of you will take 2 and the rest of you will take 1. So who wants to take 2? Thank you, Maria. That's really great. And so since you took 2, which 2 would you like to have?
I don't mind. I think that it's better for them to like take less, since they have to do the protocols and all of that based on what they have to do, the documents. So take the people that have less documents, less work to do. So I don't know which ones would be. I think that the people that are there anyone in just one team? All of them are into teams, right?
Johnny's only on the research team.
Okay, so I can take Sava and yeah, Renasia or Alexis, I don't mind.
Okay. Any preferences from you guys? Mariana, Katie, who would you guys like to take? Okay, so let's say, so Maria, you're going to take Sabah and Alexis, and Katie, you take Renasia, and Mariana, you can take Johnny. Sound good? Okay, great. So, okay, great. So can you guys, maybe as soon as Mariana has the protocol ready, she'll share it in the executive team. And then as soon as it's ready, can all of you guys, well, first of all, it'll get posted in the full team chat, right? So Mariana posted in the full team chat. And then once she posted into the full team chat, then why don't all of you follow up with your individual person and say, we now have this protocol and I want to check in with you and I want to, answer any questions that you have and make sure you know exactly what you need to do. Does that sound good? Mariana, you want to say something?
Yes, just a question. So for the protocol, should I create like a document or just like it's gonna be like a message?
Yeah, no, create a document
Mm.
just like Katie has done with the protocols before. So Katie, you want to grab a link to the closest protocol you've created, closest document to what Mariana is going to be looking at, and share that as an example for her. And yeah, so create that document, and then also it'll go in that same folder, right? Which folder is that, Katie, that she's going to put it in?
The scalable action protocols.
Okay, great. So you got that, Mariana, in the scalable action protocols, and that's in the full team folder, you said, Katie, right? Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So, okay, good. So as soon as Mariana puts that out, then everyone, again, that's when it's time for you to follow up with your team member. Or actually, since we're already getting a little there, why don't, I'll leave it in your hands as to how and when you'll follow up with each person, but you know that the protocol is coming and you know that you want to, reach that person tonight if you can. So, I guess depending upon how long it takes for Mariana, you can kind of maybe hold out, but maybe send a message to each of your people by 9 p.m. at the latest. So can we set that as a standard, 9 p.m. that person's local time at the latest? So it'll be different for spa or wherever else. Okay, great. Okay, good. So we'll go with that. All of you will reach out to your people by 9 p.m. their time. Okay, good. So we covered that. Great. Okay, so that's it then for the combo team, right? Anything else? Nope. Okay, perfect. So let me come to my list. You'll need to head out in 1 minute. Okay. Maria. Oh, so I'm sorry, I wasn't even thinking. This is your last meeting with us, Maria. We need to do some acknowledgments. Oh my God, you only have a minute?
No,
Oh,
that's fine. I can, like, 5 minutes is fine for me.
okay, good. Yeah, because we're going to want to acknowledge you. I apologize for not even thinking of that before. So I will start. First of all, I just want to, take a moment to acknowledge you and thank you for being, so interested in showing up and getting the most out of this experience that you can, that you really have been very eager from the beginning, very excited, have shown a lot of great energy and interest, really, engaged in seeking to be a leader and then being a leader and really embracing being a leader and really leading by example many times, as I've asked a lot. You've done a really great job of that. So, for me, it's really gratifying to see. I think you'll say, but I think I've seen you evolving, a bit with the project and really getting more, confident and more take charge, or communicative and quick to communicate and ready to communicate. So it's really, really great to see the way that you've grown and see how you've been a great example of someone that's embraced the opportunity, made the most of it, and really created a lot of benefit not only for yourself but for all of us and for the whole project. So let me start by just thanking you so much and appreciating you, honoring you. I greatly appreciate and honor you for all that you brought to the project. Thank you so much, Maria. It's been really, really great. Yeah, who else would like to share?
I can share. I really want to acknowledge Maria. She's been amazing. I loved meeting you. You helped me a lot during these months. It was amazing working with you. You're You're very nice people. You're amazing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah, it's really nice. Awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to echo that. You've been a great leader and gotten some amazing insights, and we've really grown as a team thanks to you. And it's really great seeing you grown into the team, you know? So it was great meeting you, and thank you for being so supportive and raring to go and willing to take on anything and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. With like what everyone else has said, you know, you, Maria, you've been like a great contribution to the team, and sad to see you go, but I know that you've always been super nice, and you know, always willing to, you know, provide the feedback and be a great team leader. So yes, we'll be missed.
Yes, you will be missed. Thank you so much. It's been so great, Maria. We've really appreciated you. So awesome to have you here. And you will live on in the project and all these videos and all your deliverables and all the ways you've contributed. The project goes on with the great foundation that you've given it.
So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you everyone for like helping me out with everything, being a great leader, a great team member, and I love this opportunity. Thank you everyone again. So
You're
we'll
welcome.
see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, great. Yeah, it is sad when we have to say goodbye to people, right? But she'll be with us tomorrow for those of us that'll be there. Okay, so let me take a look at my list and see what else there is for us to cover tonight.
Is he frozen?
I'm not, I'm just reading and thinking it. That's really funny.
Actually scared me a little.
That's so great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. That's perfect. I'm gonna have to do that in the future, like play Frozen. That's great. Okay, good. Okay, cool. So yes, no, I'm not frozen. I am alive. What I was looking at is, yeah, the main thing, we've pretty much covered it. I'll just kind of review it. So the main thing, you know, again, that I want to focus on for the team as I started with it is what do we need to do for the showcase? So the main thing for the showcase, you know, that I want us to keep focusing on, as we kind of talked about before, is rather than, you know, think about creating like a PowerPoint presentation, we're essentially using the web pages themselves as the way to walk, you know, through the presentation, right? Kind of like Katie did last week when she started going through the different documents that she had put on her master list. So, you know, the thing is we want to have these team pages, and that's, you know, I guess the part we haven't really talked about tonight is, you know, we've talked about how we're going to create the master lists and all of these individuals pages, but then somehow we need to compile those documents into the team pages, right? So we had talked about that a little bit last week, but let me hear what you guys think now, because like where and how should we compile a master list for the team instead of for the individual, right? And it's kind of going to be made up of like the combination of the master list of all the individuals, right? So in a way, it's kind of going to be like just going through the documents that are in those folders at that point, essentially, right? The public folders, right? Because whatever makes it into the public folder is what's being shared. But again, on the team pages, those need to be kind of links. And this is where we haven't talked about it a bit, but I think it's kind of like we want the page to kind of like tell the story, right? Like we've had different projects and different things that we've worked on at different times. And it's kind of like we want to have like a timeline and a chronology of like, first we were working on this, and here's the things that we, the documents that we did with that. And then we were working on this, and here's the documents that we did with that, right? You guys following me with what I'm saying? Like, so how do you guys think we can best execute, kind of telling the story of the team on the web pages?
I think in terms of what should be on there, it should be like a biggest hits kind of thing where we just have the major projects and not necessarily like every document, the research team, the production team have done. Just like for the research team having like the FDA presentation and the expert, well, I guess not the expert compilation because that's sensitive information, but like maybe a little overview of what that team has been doing.
Yeah, I think you're on the money, Katie. So I think, how do we standardize what you're describing, and where do we find the people power to do that for each of the teams within the next couple of days? Like, that's what we need to kind of dive into the time tracker if we're going to start dividing up those responsibilities, essentially, right? Because again, so let's take the outreach team. Outreach team might not be the best example since Mariana's the only one on the outreach team now. Is there somebody else on the outreach team with you, Mariana? Sabah on the outreach team?
Yeah, Sabah and Maria.
Oh, and Maria too. Okay, good. Okay, so for the outreach team, there's yeah, I mean, basically we have to look at the time tracker, and then Mariana needs to say, okay, so this is going to take, an hour or half hour, whatever it's going to be. So let's have, Sabah work on that, or let's have Maria work on that. How do we assign this right now? How do we describe it, and how do we assign it? I think that's the best question. So I think, again, what's coming to me now is it's coming back to this kind of same thing. It's like, essentially we need to create a protocol for how we create a team page, right? Like, what should go on the team page? Like, what's the selection criteria? And then, like, when you say greatest hits, like maybe we say we want to have, let's say, typically, maybe like 5 to 10 different featured documents or something like that, or processes, right? And then, each one of those will get maybe like a paragraph description along with whatever relevant links or something like that. I'm just kind of spitballing, but you guys are getting the sense that something like this is what we should create as our guidelines, right? And so that all the teams have the same guidelines or protocol, and then us kind of get a sense of like how much time it might take to put that together, and then start dividing that up amongst team members. So let's start, since Katie, you were saying, the idea of like a greatest hits type of thing, and I just gave a couple of examples. Let's hone in on some agreement in terms of numbers, if 5 to 10 is good, or if it should be more like 3 to 7, or how many different types of features you guys think there should be for each team. And again, it could change. Some teams can have more than others. Again, what's the criteria? Is it a number, or is it a quality, or is it a time period? What is it? What do you guys think?
I think that it could depend on per team, because I know for like the business team and maybe the recruitment team, it's a lot smaller and kind of like more centralized work. So I guess like for those teams, I'm thinking it's like 3 to 5 around there. And then, because it's just like job descriptions and then kind of an outline of it. So then, but I know for the researcher and outreach team, they could possibly be bigger because of like the amount of like work that they've done. So
yeah, so I don't think it's the number that's the guideline, because since you're saying that, Tatiana, so I think it's more of like, well, it sounds like it's going to be a bit subjective in terms of like, greatest hits, like you're saying, Katie. Each team maybe can decide what they think is appropriate for their greatest hits for the semester or something like that. But again, so is that the criteria that we use? Choose what you feel are your greatest hits for the team, or how do we describe that? I saw you nodding your head, Mariana. You think that's a good way to do it?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
You guys think there's any other way, Tatiana?
no, I was gonna say maybe to have something that like can fully encompass what you've done with the business team. Or since I'm in a business team, I said business team, but like your respective team.
Right. Yeah, that's the different things that are chosen help paint a picture of what the whole team does. So there's good representative selection of the different functions of the team. So maybe that goes into the protocol document. Can somebody start typing this into a protocol document as I'm saying it? Mariana, do you mind typing this while I'm saying it? So we said greatest hits. Is that the way we're describing it? And then also representative of the work of the team. A variety of different types of roles of the team. So these are the things that could describe it, could describe what we're looking for. Any other descriptors that you guys would use? And then let me kind of show you guys one of the things that I was going to cover tonight, and I'll just use it as an example. So here's very rough draft of the layout of information, really trying to understand what information we're going to put on a leadership council member page. So to have profile page, to have the name, the photo, some other contact info or social media info, maybe some credentialing information, still trying to figure that out. The interests that they have in terms of the channels that they're tuned into, basically. Still trying to figure out these other things in terms of if we're going to have them say what they want, what they're offering. And then also if they're involved in certain projects, for the project to be profiled, like Dylan in this case has this project that is, part of his focus and what he's going to be building out this channel around, this primary culture channel. And then down here is where we have some of the communications, and then there's like a short description and then the video, right? So this is the part I wanted to show you, that for the different things that we're talking about. So let's say it's going to be, let's say 5, 7, whatever it's going to be featured, is that there is like a short description, and then either video if it's a video, or a link to the document, or maybe maybe an image of a document, a screenshot or something, but to have these kind of, short descriptions for the link or whatever it's going to look like in terms of, how to feature the different things that are being featured for that team. Does that make sense? That each thing has a little context, right? We did this with this. This is why we did this. So again, how long do you think it will take for each team to put together that list of features? And what is going to be the process to do that? Katie, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think once we as a team decide what we want to feature, it wouldn't take too long to create a little blurb.
So you think that like in each team meeting that's where we should decide, or in the chat, or how do we decide?
Well, I think for the combined team, since our team meeting is tomorrow, that could be an option. We could get the conversation started in the group chat so people have time to think about what they would like to be included, and maybe bounce ideas off of each other, and then like just have a quick little voting session during our meeting so we can get that all finalized, and then like that night or the next night, probably take like 10 minutes to create just a little blurb.
Okay. Okay, so I think, that can work for the combined team, but it seems like we would have to have like breakout rooms or something if we're going to have each team do it to cover, what they did before we were combined. Right. So maybe we could have breakout rooms, but different people are going to be split between different teams too. Either that, or we can start the conversation in the meeting, but I just want to make sure that we get it, moving quickly, because we only have until Thursday to have it all together is the challenge. So further thoughts about the 3 team? Tatiana, want to say something?
I was thinking, what if we just referenced, the job descriptions that we created, and then try to find different, things that we have created as a team that kind of fall in line with the job postings that we had, and then kind of expand on that and make like a couple sentences expanding on like, I don't know, creations of like brochures or something like that, and then kind of implement like a certain, creation that was made.
So you're saying like the bullet points within each job posting, and then for each bullet point find a representative document. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like for each bullet point, but maybe like however many like the team decides can fully encompass, what was whatever, like what the team decides, and then kind of just following those kind of ideas, and then finding, something that was created that kind of is in line.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm the concern I have about that is that I'm a little concerned about just trying to use that document as the guideline. I think it's going to be a little bit easier to kind of do what Katie was describing in terms of like thinking back over the course of the semester, like what stands out, and coming from that perspective, greatest hits kind of thing, I think is going to be an easier way to try to figure out what to use, rather than to try to use the job description as a way to figure it out. That's just the way that I think about it in my head. What do you guys think? What do you think, Katie, Mariana?
I wonder if we could have everybody bring in like 2 documents for each team that they're in that they feel are their favorite, or exemplify what they've done and then kind of mesh that together.
I like the idea, except that I could see, like, in the extreme situation, like all people picking like the same 2 documents, or 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4, and then there still be other documents that didn't get picked just because they weren't the most popular ones, even though they'd still be good to be picked. You know what I mean? I just see that documents could get missed in that process, basically. I like the idea of it, of people choosing. I think more like almost kind of like what we were doing when we were processing the videos, is kind of like each person making their own list of what they would put on the team page and then compare all the lists. So not just choosing 2, but choosing what your list would be. You know what I'm saying? And having each person on the team make their own list and then compare all the lists to come up with, you know, the consensus, basically. In a way, it's almost done automatically by comparing all the master lists, right? If we compare all the master lists, then we could kind of see what's, but that's not necessarily. I think we're going down a rabbit hole a little bit with this. What's let's, for the combined team, I'll let you guys sleep on it, and then by the combined team, we'll have an answer. Sound good? Like, can you guys figure out, like, amongst yourself what you think is going to be the best way to get the lists together using the team meeting combined with the chat and whatever? Just let you guys figure out the process rather than right now, because we only have a couple more minutes before the recruitment team. And let me see if there's anything else we need to cover still. Anything else that's popping into you guys' minds as we're getting close to wrapping up here? I'm not frozen, just to be clear. I'm just reading. Yeah, so one thing I just wanted to clarify with you guys is that, yeah, that we had talked, you know, a few weeks back when we were talking about, you know, the showcase, the grand showcase, inviting past team members and all of that. And I just personally haven't had the bandwidth. It's in my mind to reach out to all the past team members, and I just haven't had the bandwidth to deal with all of that. So I don't think we're going to be inviting past team members to this showcase, but what I'm imagining is that we're actually setting the standard, because once we have all of the team pages and all the protocols and all of that, then I want to share all of that with the past team members so that they can then use those protocols to compile their own documents on their own profile page to be shown in the next showcase, which will be the first week in January. So I think it's better this way, that you guys are kind of working out the kinks and then handing the finished version to the past members. So it's a simple process for them, rather than kind of throwing them into the mix of us trying to figure it all out and having them trying to figure it all out and all that. Does that make sense? So yeah, so I think that again, with the way it's working out now, which I think is perfect, is you guys are sorting all this out. Now this will become the standard, and then going forward, we'll be able to, you know, have everybody else get rolled in and go back into our history and develop some older pages for some older teams and members and that sort of thing. So, okay, good. So I think we've covered everything then. Oh, the other thing was, so Katie, I know you had mentioned in the last meeting, are you interested in presenting in live in the showcase next week, or Thursday, I should say? Or did you want to create a recording? Or, and it's really up to all of you guys. I want to kind of get a sense of what your guys' thoughts are, if you want to be there live doing a presentation, or if you want to create a video with your team. I think, you know, I would say for each team, the full presentation if you guys can, I would say, you know, 3 minutes plus questions, probably like 5 minutes on the way outside, although that would get a bit long if everyone's doing 5 minutes. But what do you guys think about 3 to 5 minutes per team, either live or a video presentation? How does that sound to you guys? Sound good? Okay, so then getting back, so live or video, what is each of your choices for your team?
If we're gonna take questions and it's in video format, how would that work?
You're not going to be able to take questions if it's in video format. I mean, I'll take questions. I'll have to answer any questions. Yeah.
Follow-up question. So in terms of like time in the day, when do you think about the presentations would start?
Yeah, so the meeting itself is going to be from 8 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And the beginning of the meeting is going to be all about like all of the leadership council members introducing themselves to each other and sharing what they do and what they're bringing and all of that sort of thing. So I'm anticipating all of that. It's kind of variable depending upon how many people we're going to have, but it's definitely going to be less than a half hour for that. So I'm kind of like, it's probably going to be kind of like half hour for the members to introduce themselves and network with each other, half hour to kind of present everything within you know, all the teams, as well as there's some things like we're going to present Dylan's page and some of the other pages. So there's more than just the team stuff, but for that to be a half hour, like presenting, you know, the project to the leadership council will be a half hour, and then the last half hour, like a brainstorming session. So I would say it would probably be, you know, right around 8:30 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. Pretty much that window is when we're looking for the presentation within there.
In that case, I think I would have to do a video because I have some time constraints that day.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. I think a video would be better because of the timing. So yeah.
Same thing for you, Tatiana. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So let's plan again, 3 to 5 minute video. You know, you guys can work with the team to figure out how you're going to put it together and who's going to talk and whatever, but I'll leave it up to each of you. So can we just say that each of the team leaders will be responsible, that will have the video? Like, what's a good deadline to have it by so that I can upload it to the YouTube channel and we can show it as a YouTube video on our channel? So I would basically need them by, like, all the videos, let's say by we say 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday at the latest. Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, Mariana, you want to say something?
Oh yes, so just a question. So for the video that we're gonna do, like, does all the team members need to be on the video, or is it gonna be like only the leader speaking?
Yeah, it's really up to the team members, because what I would say is that, again, this is going to be part of kind of like the legacy of the team, right? And so I think that you know, any team member that wants to be on the video, you know, should. So almost kind of like this, like where potentially you could have everyone on the team, and maybe it's done within the team meetings. Maybe that's the best way to do it. If we can do it that fast. I don't know if we can do that by tomorrow night's meeting, but yeah, whoever wants to be on that video should be able to be on the video. So that's kind of the way that I would say it. And even if somebody would like to present, you know, like especially if they did something and want to present like their, you know, analysis or what have you, to just make it inclusive that way. you know, just to allow everybody to be a part of it however they want. Okay. Okay, good. So any other questions, comments, anything? Nope, we wrapped it up. Okay, great. So let's all give ourselves one last round of applause for all the great work and all the progress that we're making, everything we're doing that we need to wrap everything up and share everything. It's really, really awesome. So thank you guys so much, Mariana and Katie. See you guys later. Tatiana, you can stick around and stick around for a second because I want to talk to you, Tatiana, since Cassidy, I think it might be out of the picture. So we might have to reschedule. We'll see. So, okay. Thanks, Mariana and Katie. Have a great night. See you.